Okay guys, so it's Friday. Picking up where we left off, we're gonna start welding up some of the charge pipe. I'm not gonna lie, I've been a little discouraged with my aluminum here lately. I think it was mainly the cast, but I started playing around a little bit this morning, and one thing I did was I went and picked up some 53, 56 filler rod instead of the 40-43 I was using, 43-40. 40-43, and it has made a huge difference. Let me show you what I've been doing, and I'll show you the two, the couple different little beads I laid, and you can kind of see what I'm talking about. So if you look here, this center bead, I did this with the 40-43, same settings, same everything. And it's not that, it's not that great. You really can't tell, but you'll see a bunch of peppering and stuff in there. And I don't think that was from the filler rod. I think it's not 100% what it's from. But you look over here at this bead, this is the 53-56. And I mean, it's just, there's such a huge difference. Color, everything. It just seems like it's going to work out a lot better. Same thing, this one over here was the 53-56. So I'm going to give this stuff a run and see how it goes. Hopefully we don't wind up with this, and we wind up with a lot more of this, because this is a lot nicer weld. And with that being said, these are the two pieces I'm going to weld together. And you notice they're a little wet. What I like to do is take them and give them a bath in some dish soap and some water. And while they're in there, I'll Scotch-Brite them real good. Get everything the way I want it, and then Scotch-Brite them inside and out real good. And then I know they're clean. I'll tack them together, and then I'll wipe them all down again with acetone one more time for our weld. But so for those of you that weld, I'm sure you can do better than this. Hats off to you. You're a magician. I'm just not that great at it yet. But they're still decent welds. They're not terrible. They're penetrated. I mean, it's I'm hoping that these turn out really good. So I'm gonna go ahead and work on getting all these tacked up and going, and then I'll check back in with y'all once we get at least one of them done and see how it turned out, and I'll kind of go over where I had everything set on the machine, and just the whole 9 yards, tungsten and all that riffraff. So I'm gonna get started. Okay, so I got this one welded. Didn't go great, didn't go terrible. Not disappointed with it, but not gonna lie, I did dip the tungsten once. But this is real world. I mean, I'm not, like I said, I'm not a professional welder. But this is it. Let's see. Damn, focus. There it is. Bead got a little wide, a little skinny right there. All this white stuff, I can brush all that off. But it's not, it's not terrible. I'll take it. It's a nice solid little weld. Hopefully all the rest of them, get a little better and better as we go each time. But I gotta fit this up and then put a witness mark on the next one, clean it up, weld it up, and so on and so forth. I just try to do them one at a time, because before it's all over with, you're gonna have this huge, massive piece of charge pipe here, and it's kind of a bitch to flop it around and weld it. And we all know how important it is to be comfortable when you're welding. If you're not comfortable, you're gonna turn out shit every time. And I think that's a lot of my problem, is I need to build a desk to weld on. This bench is a little high, so no matter what I do, I'm awkward. If I raise the stool up, I feel awkward with my pedal. And I can't bring the bench down, although I could probably chop the fucking feet down on it. Might do that. Probably won't do it right now. That's another project, but I'm gonna go ahead and cruise on welding up the rest of them, and then I'll check back with you once we get them all welded on. Might go ahead and weld on the blow-off valve flange. Alrighty, it's all welded up. Didn't go bad. The GoPro went dead though, so I didn't record a whole lot of it. but here it is. Not too much to it. Got to add the blow-off valve. This is where it was coming out of the throttle body right here, and I wanted to put the blow-off valve like right here, but I don't think it's going to work because I want to build a shroud for the fans, and I don't think there's enough room. So I'm thinking about either sticking it down here or right here, maybe over here. I'm not 100% sure yet. I really need to stare at it a little bit more, but I rolled the ends. Focus. Yeah. That thing works fucking awesome. It's this little guy right here. Stick the pipe in here and you roll it. This is Dallas's, but it is the fucking bee's knees, so thank you, Dallas. That thing works fucking awesome. The GoPro's still dead. I don't have any batteries out here, so I'm just gonna keep cruising, and I'll show you, progress along the way. It's about I want to say it's about 4 o'clock, so I got a couple hours left. So I'm gonna keep cruising. Alrighty, so it's getting late. I gotta get to the house. I gotta mow my damn yard. It looks like a fucking jungle. But I got the cold side from the throttle body, or from the intercooler up to the throttle body, done today. And I got the blow-off valve on and everything. So that means next time out here tomorrow, we're gonna start working on the hot side stuff. Hopefully we can blow through it and be dangerously close to being done. But here we are. Put the blow-off valve right here. I kind of wanted to put it right here, but there wasn't enough room. By the time I built a shroud and everything, there just wouldn't have been enough room for it. But it turned out pretty well. I'm gonna repolish all the pipe, to get rid of all like the Scotch-Brite marks from where I cleaned it up to weld it. And then there's little just scratches all over it from sliding it around on that aluminum table. But that's this side. She's all good to go and goes in there nice. Everything's nice and straight. And then once we do the hot side, the turbo will be over here. And then we'll come right out of the turbo and come right down and go into the intercooler down there. So, that's going to do it for today. So I will catch y'all tomorrow. Alright guys, so it's the next day. We got everything done on the cold side that we can do for right now, other than polishing up that charge pipe. I'll probably do that, probably do it all in the end when I get done. Today we're going to start on the hot side stuff. So I know most people watch this Honda guys, and you would never ever think to make anything exhaust related other than out of stainless steel. Well, in the LS world, especially guys that are boosting junkyard motors and stuff like that, it's real common to make them out of mild steel. And that's what the customer wants to do this time. This is kind of just going to be a temporary setup until maybe next year or the year after that, when he really starts cranking up the boost on it. So what we've got is some like 2 1/4, 2 1/2, I don't remember, mild steel tubing. And it's coated black because I'm going to coat it all black in the end anyway, and then probably put heat wrap on it. So I just went ahead and got the stuff that was coated. We'll grind down the coating, and I'm probably going to TIG weld all of it. I'm not good enough with a MIG welder to make it look pretty. Especially for a customer. If it was my truck, I'd probably be MIG welding it, but we're probably going to TIG weld it. I just want it to be the best work I can do, even if it is mild steel. But we're not going to back purge it or anything like that. Stainless wouldn't have been too terribly much more expensive, but there's not really a whole point in dumping a bunch of money into something that you're probably just going to take off in 6 months or a year and go bigger and better. The next go around, I think he's going to do a bigger turbo, or maybe 2 turbos, and we'll go way bigger on the piping. We'll go up to like 3-inch and probably use some headers instead of truck manifolds. But for today, we're going to start cruising. Y'all saw in one of the earlier videos, I got one V-band welded on, I got the other one tacked on. I'm probably just going to leave the tacked one alone right now and go ahead and just start cruising on getting most of the pipe fabricated and fit up. And then we'll come back and back purge it and TIG weld all of it in the end once we got everything all together. So let's get jiving. Okay, so I got one side of it tacked up. Kind of got the turbo where I think I want it. I think it's going to be a pretty good spot. It's a little high. Might have to tweak it just a smidge to get the hood down. But this is just kind of a rough little mock-up. Everything's just tacked together right now. I did go ahead and try to half-ass make the collector. It turned out pretty well. All I did was take 2 pieces of pipe that I wanted and cut them kind of in half almost. I can go over that a little bit more here in a little bit when I start to weld it up. I'll show you some better shots of it, but this is it mocked up in the truck. So with it the way it is right now, you know, I can come right out, dump right into the intercooler. All I got to do is get an aluminum 90 down there. And it's all, like I said, just kind of tacked up right now. There's a collector. You know, I'd still have to come in here and expand this out to fit the flange. The flange is just sitting on there right now. It's not tacked on, but I'm going to come in with a hammer and separate it out. I'll probably use an air hammer and, you know, move it out to the size of the flange. That way we're not restricting nothing. But the way it is right now, it's a straight shot over, and then I can pick up the other side over there. So that's pretty good. I sent some pictures to the owner. If he likes it, I'm going to leave it like that, and then you know, start coming out of there, coming over to here. So but it's late, so we'll have to pick back up tomorrow. I gotta pick up a little bit and then hit the house. So see y'all in the morning. Alrighty guys, it's the next day, and I'm gonna start working on finishing up the collector, and then trying to get most of this stuff welded before I start cruising across to the other side of the motor. But this is where we're at. This is the side that I have done, and this is where I made the collector. Obviously it's just 2 90s that I tilted at angles, and then I cut one of them, laid the other one in it, and cut the other one. If you look up here, you'll see that it doesn't quite fit in the flange, but we're about to take care of that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take an air hammer and get in here and chisel all this back where it'll form back into the flange and open it up quite a bit. Then we'll chop off whatever we got, weld it from the bottom. If we can weld some from the top side, we'll weld some from the top side. But I'm gonna use this guy right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and get cruising on that, and maybe start welding it up, and we'll pick back up. Okay guys, so it's been a couple days. I haven't recorded, sorry. I've just been right up here with work and everything. Had a bunch of crap, you know, at work. So that's been my main focus, but I have been coming out here every night, and it's the weekend now. I've got most of the hot side done. I just got done welding probably one of the last tubes. I got to do 2 more welds to actually put it on the truck or on the motor. But that's where I'm at with it. I still got to do the wastegate, and then I got to do the up pipe and the dump tube. So not a whole lot has changed since the last time you saw it, except everything's actually welded now instead of just tacked. I'll show it to you. So there's our collector. All this is all welded, all this is welded. It comes across and stops right here, and it's going to come up and hook around this power steering reservoir and hit, you know, the other V-band. And I've got this piece all welded up. I just need to clean up this end and then clean this up and tack it on. And I'm thinking about probably coming back in and putting a V-band in it somewhere. I'm not sure, maybe like right here. That way you can get it apart easier and you don't have to, you know, pull the charge pipe out to get it off. Here is the pipe I just got done welding. Not amazing, but pretty good. I've been back purging it. For some reason, me and mild steel don't get along when I TIG weld, and it always seems to work out a little bit better if I back purge it. So there it is. Welds look like crap on camera. They really don't look that bad in real life, but I'm gonna let that cool down a little bit, and then I gotta clean up that other end that's on the truck, and I'll go ahead and tack it all up and then weld the V-band, and then we'll either move on to wastegate or downpipe. Probably wastegate. I don't know, I might wait to do the wastegate till I cut the V-band, and that way I don't have to jack with a bunch of extra stuff. But anyway, I'm gonna keep cruising. Alrighty, so I decided to hold off on welding up, you know, welding it all up. I'm gonna go ahead and do the wastegate, and then I got a V-band on the way for the you know, for that joint where I had it taped together. But this is what I came up with on the wastegate. I fitted it up in the truck, and this is what seemed to look the best to me, and I think it's probably the best positioning for boost control, because right now I think we want to control boost pretty well. It's just not going to be closed gate all the time. But here it is. Hopefully you can see my lines. So I cut this piece out, and I've you know, grinded it all down to fit. It's going to fit in there just like that, and then the wastegate will sit on there like that. So that's it as of right now. But I got to go ahead and cut the hole out for it, and then weld it up. So as long as GoPro battery lasts, I'll put y'all on time lapse, and maybe you can actually see me do something instead of yapping about it. Alright guys, it's the next day. I got the wastegate all welded on. It turned out pretty well. I'm pretty much done with all the crossover pipes and that part of the hot side stuff, but here it is. Might be able to show you a little better from down here. So there's the wastegate. I'm gonna come back in here and make some little patch panels, or some little patch plates to patch it on a little bit better. Same thing with all the joints. Same thing with all these guys. I'm gonna come in here and make little squares to kind of patch over all this stuff on each one of the joints. That way, I'm scared with it being thin wall, mild tubing, you know, this stuff is gonna have a bunch of heat cycles on it. So I want to try to put, like I said, little patches on every weld, and then we'll have a V-band right here. The same thing down there. I want to do patches on all that stuff. So that's going to take a little while. I don't think I'm going to fool with that today. That's after work kind of work, I think. I think today I'm probably going to start on trying to get the down up pipe, exhaust pipe out and over. Talked to the owner. He's probably going to take it out the fender right here. So I'm going to get rid of this coolant tank. We're going to build another one of those later. I'm going to get rid of it, and then we'll go ahead and start running this guy. Maybe cut a hole in the fender and so on and so forth. So I'm going to get started on that. Okay, so I got the downpipe all fitted up, and I figured I'd show it to y'all before I fuck it up and put some ugly ass welds on it. But here it is, or here's where it's gonna go. It runs out right here, kind of kicks up and runs through this factory hole, and I cut this ginormous ass hole on this side. I haven't done the dump tube yet, but I'm thinking I'm gonna dump it like down here. Sorry for the noise, the welder's on. And here it is, in all of its glory. I'm actually pretty proud of this. This thing's turned out really nice so far. I hope the welds I do on it are good. I'm gonna back purge the dog shit out of it, and hopefully it'll turn out nice. But there it is. So I'm gonna go to town on welding it, and I'll show y'all once I get done the good, the bad, the ugly, all of it. Hopefully it's good. We'll see. There's one down. It really ain't that bad. It looks a lot worse on camera than it does in real life. I'm pretty happy with that one. Okay, weld number 2 went good. It's amazing how much, not gap, sometimes when you fit tubes up, especially ones that have already been bent or they're bent, the tube will deform just a little bit, you know, to get a little oval. And when I mean a little bit, I mean like less than half a millimeter. Like there's just a little step there. And when you fit 2 tubes together, sometimes, you know, they'll be nice and flush on one end, and then you get around to the other and you'll have a little step up on one of them. And it's crazy how much difference that can make in a weld. Like I've got down, the way that I do this is I kind of pulse with my foot, and I just try to watch the puddle, and I try to keep the puddle the same as I can. But after a little while of doing it, you kind of get in the rhythm of, you know, pulsing the same amount. Well, when you make it around to a side that has a little step on it, it changes everything. It changes, the puddle stands up, you need more heat, and if you don't have your welder set high enough, then you can't get the heat into it you need. And it didn't turn out bad, it's just a little thing I've noticed. But all the colors make it look like shit. Oh yeah, we're not gonna focus. There we go. It's not perfect, but if you see what I'm talking about right here, the puddle stands up a little bit more. See how it's more sunk in right there? The rest of the way around. But it turned out good. I'm happy with it. I've also got in the rhythm of counting. You know, even if you can weld from here to here, don't. You pick a number and you stick with it. So I'll do anywhere between 8 and 12 dabs depending on my weld, but whatever I do first, if I do 8, then that's what I always stick with, is 8 all the way around. And I'm getting better. I mean, it's not great, but it's getting a lot better. So now I'm going to clamp the V-band onto the turbo and weld it up. I want to do that so the flange doesn't warp on me, and it'll hold, you know, the whole thing up while I weld it. But I need to back purge it again. I'm out of foil, so I'm going to try to make a little seal on the V-band and then back purge it from the top, and we'll see where we get with it. God damn it, would you look at this. I think I did the whole fucking thing without fucking it up. These fucking welds on this V-band are goddamn perfect. I mean, I would put this shit up against anybody. I'm thrilled to pieces. These are probably the best welds I've ever done on anything, which proves I like stainless. I thought that yesterday when I was welding that wastegate thing on, but stainless is the way to go for me here. So if anybody out there needs a stainless welder, holler at your boy, a freehand stainless welder. Can't walk the cup or any of that, but anyway, here it is. So, I mean, it's perfect all the way around. The only issue I see is I need a bigger cup. This was the trailing end of the weld each time. Everywhere you see one of those blue spots, and that means that my cup's not big enough. And I got like a FUPA 12, I think is what it is. I probably need to go up to a 16. Right here's where I terminated it at the end. It is fucking mint. Goddamn G7X. But there it is, my ghetto back purge setup. I'm gonna throw this thing on the truck and see what it looks like, take a bunch of pictures and put them on Instagram. Alrighty, took all my pictures. Here it is on the truck. Don't pay attention to how my thing's clocked. It needs to be right there. But of course, you know, you weld all the way around a pipe, and your best looking welds are always on the bottom side where nobody will see them. But I'm still proud of these. These are mint for me. These are probably some of the best welds I've ever done. You can't really tell down in there, but it's fully penetrated all the way around. I got a picture, I'll post it on Instagram, of all the way down in there where you can see it all penetrated. But that is it right there. I'm just tickled pink with that shit. Now I gotta do the dump tube, but I'm not gonna get to it today. It's getting late, it's Sunday. Gotta go back to prison tomorrow. So if you like what I'm doing here, subscribe. If you want to support the channel, pick up a shirt or some stickers. www.megaspool.myshopify.com. The link is in the description. Help a brother out, like the video, and thanks for watching. Thanks for coming back through. I really do appreciate, you know, the people that watch these, so thank you. But I'll catch y'all next week.